Hi students, we're back, Mr. Robinson and Miss Wells, for week 2 of 5 for 5, 5 ideas for 5 minutes. Idea 1. OPVL.
Such a great idea. What does it mean? Obviously, orange puppies loving lions.
Actually, Miss Wells, you missed a V in there.
Oh.
What it really means is origin, purpose, value, and limitations, which we actually put on this video last week. However, we got more into it this week. And very simply, it is a technique like the CRAP test to evaluate a source, anything that gives you information, for whether it's useful, reliable, and trustworthy. Our second idea also regards OPVL. There's often more than one. What I mean here is that when you're looking at a source, let's say we're looking at this Vancouver Island Explorer Guide, there's often can be more than one purpose, value, and limitation. For example, the purpose, you want to hold that? Thank you. The purpose could be to learn what you should explore in Vancouver, but I'm sure they also put advertising in here, or maybe you have to pay for it, and so maybe the purpose is also just to make money. So both could be valid. As for the value, it depends what we're researching. If you're researching what to do in Vancouver, this might be great. However, let's say you're researching tourist brochures in 2017. Well, then you might be looking at this from a totally different angle. As for limitations, well, what's not said in here? Or maybe there's a bias. Who is the author? What is the author's agenda? Maybe they're trying to sell something.
We're going here. I'm sold. So beautiful. Done. I was listening to what Mr. Robinson was saying.
Number 3. The citizenship game.
It's been a great experiment.
The citizenship game helps show us how the definition of citizenship changes depending on the country. For example, in my country, the good old US of A, if you're born there, you get citizenship.
I have a question.
Yes, Miss Wells.
If Mr. Robinson decides to marry me, will you get citizenship in Canada?
Well, Miss Wells, we looked into that, and actually, marrying someone doesn't actually help you get citizenship. And on second hand, who said I'm gonna marry you?
Wow. Key vocabulary. We've started that now in class. Some of you have decided to use cards while others are using vocabulary that they'll be looking at in their books, I believe.
In the back of their humanities notebooks.
And so it doesn't really matter the way in which we do the vocabulary, just that we do vocabulary and that you know what you're talking about, and more importantly, you know what the words mean.
And this, as we talked about in class, is simply so that everybody has the same language to talk about what we're talking about in humanities. Number 5, what is that? Case studies. So, in class, we started looking at 4 different case studies, all of them revolving around citizenship issues, about what rights and responsibilities we should have as citizens. And there are some pretty interesting stuff in there, like, can a citizen take matters into his or her own hands if they think something is right or wrong, like Batman or Spider-Man?
If you're in Mrs. Wells's class, we haven't got to that yet. So don't worry about Spider-Man or Batman. We'll see you on Wednesday and
Haven't
talk
some
about
of
this.
your students gotten into that? I think they have.
They've-
That's one of the 4 case studies.
Maybe they've read a couple of the studies.
Next week, what are we doing next week? Oh yeah, next week we're going to get into some paragraph writing. Exciting. Teal. I know you guys remember it. And we're going to start talking about an Enlightenment philosopher and his idea of what life was like way, way, way back before communities and civilizations started forming. In other words, why in the first place did we start forming communities and governments?
We're also going to play some games, have some fun, laugh a lot, And there will be a little bit of a vocab test, so you better study. Have a great weekend.
Bye.